just the scenery was just beautiful.
Anna Lee gets real.
God, I feel like we just suck. We're stupid. We're stupid.
And another express pass is up for grabs.
We can do it, Rob. Rob? I think we can beat Rob.
New CBS Tuesday.
You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you no matter what.
You Americans have the all-time best battle cries.
NCIS Sydney. New series premieres Tuesday, 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
I've got the final draft of your full forecast. It is blustery. I'll show you where the top wind speeds are expected. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, 6 people facing felony drug charges in Luce County after a traffic stop led to the discovery of drugs. We have all the details. Plus, the Gwynn School District is heading back to the drawing board after a bond proposal to consolidate the schools and upgrade facilities was rejected by voters. And state Democrats introduced new energy legislation just days after a major energy bill package made it through the House. We'll tell you what these new bills address. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
We've been pretty quiet here in Marquette for a while now, but Ariane, are our eastern counties still getting some precipitation tonight?
Whoops, that's this way. Yes, as we can see here, currently the past couple of hours, yes, as Sarah's mentioning here, some precipitation over there in the east, and we'll expect some slushy road conditions this evening. Could see that in the morning, as well as our winds are going to be picking up. We've got some very gusty conditions, anywhere from 30 to 45 miles an hour. Excuse me. Right now, though, winds fairly calm, but I'll show you how that's going to change after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. New tonight, 6 people are arrested and awaiting charges after police say a large amount of drugs was discovered at a Newberry home yesterday. Michigan State Police troopers made a traffic stop in Newberry at 12:30 a.m. Tuesday and found suspected methamphetamine in the vehicle. A search warrant for a residence was later executed, resulting in large amounts of suspected meth. 5 people were arrested on felony drug charges. A 6th person was arrested for violation of a court order. All 6 were taken to the Luce County Jail pending arraignment. A Menominee County man is dead after an ORV crash last Friday, and another person was injured. The county sheriff's office says it happened just after 6 p.m. on number 10 road in Menominee Township. Deputies reported a side-by-side appeared to have hit a deer before leaving the roadway, hitting a utility pole and rolling the machine. The crash also knocked down some power lines. One occupant, identified as 60-year-old Ralph E. Vanderpool Sr. of Wallace, was pronounced dead at the scene. The other occupant was hospitalized with unknown injuries. That crash remains under investigation. Gwynn School District administrators are adjusting for what comes next after a proposed bond to renovate and consolidate the district was rejected by voters last night. Gwynn Schools is in need of renovations. The district proposed a $45.5 million bond to combine the 3 buildings into one. The bond was voted down in yesterday's election, and school administrators say they're working diligently to address the concerns of the community and meet the needs of the schools.
One meeting already today. We're going to have more meetings in the near future. And we got to get the opinions of all the people involved because the needs haven't changed.
We can't quit. We won't quit, but we have to listen carefully because those concerns that are out there have to be answered. I get that. We understand and we respect that.
Administrators say without the bond, one of the elementary schools will likely need to be closed to meet financial needs. They hope to be moving forward with a new plan by this May. Schoolcraft County will not have to shut down its ambulance services thanks to the results of yesterday's election. Voters overwhelmingly voted in favor of a 2.25 mill tax to fund the county's emergency medical services. If that new millage hadn't passed by May, Manistee Public Safety would have been required to cease EMS operations next June. This is the first time in Schoolcraft County's history that emergency medical services will be funded by taxpayers.
is truly a win for the entire county. We had great partnerships from other government entities to private individuals and organizations. With all of that collaboration on a brand new millage, I think that really is a compliment to the citizens of Schoolcraft County.
Initially, the millage will offset the EMS fund deficit identified by the state treasury. Then money will go toward ambulance replacements and equipment upgrades. Last night's elections was a huge win for abortion rights around the country. Political scientists say Democrats secured wins in decisive victories in major races, even as polling for President Biden doesn't look too great. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp explains what this means for the big election next year.
I think the big takeaway from last night's elections is that the Democrats did really well, really trumpeting the issue of abortion.
Last summer, the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade. Democrats campaigned on abortion rights in the 2022 midterms, which seems to be an effective strategy after Tuesday's elections. In Virginia, voters flipped the Republican majority House and kept Democrats in control of the Senate, essentially blocking the Republican governor from enacting a 15-week abortion ban, a top priority of his. And in Ohio, a state where former President Donald Trump won by 8 points in 2020, voters approved of a ballot measure that enshrines the right to an abortion in the state constitution.
Ohio used to be a swing state, but it's a deep red state now. And like Kansas, which also put an abortion referendum to the voters, we saw people come out in support of abortion rights. Abortion rights are popular across the country, and this indicates that Democrats who are looking to use this as a turnout issue and putting more on the ballot in 2024 are likely to be successful.
But can abortion access be a winning issue for Democrats in 2024? Before Tuesday's elections, polling shows President Biden trailing behind former President Trump in key swing states, including Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Democrats do see this abortion issue as being one that they can continue to use to push their voters out. When you have a right that is taken away, and when people anticipate that there might be more state-level action to take away these rights and to shorten the terms for abortions, this can be used by Democrats to stimulate turnout.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
We are now less than a year away from the big presidential election. Some are saying these victories for Democrats won't make Biden's poll results irrelevant, but Biden's campaign is certainly feeling a little more optimistic from last night's results. Their campaign says, in part, democracy won and MAGA lost. Voters vote, polls don't. Hundreds of pro-life advocates from across the state were in Lansing today at a March for Life demonstration at the Capitol. Despite some unfriendly weather for an outdoor demonstration, hundreds have rallied to speak out against abortion-related legislation making its way through various levels of government, like Tuesday's passing of the Reproductive Health Act, which repeals medical regulations on abortion care facilities, among other restrictions. Advocates at the rally say their demonstration is meant to remind lawmakers that there are still people in Michigan who are pro-life.
We want to show women who are facing an untimely pregnancy that there is help available. We have 150 pregnancy resource centers across the state who are ready, willing, and able to help any woman or family facing a crisis pregnancy.
Demonstrators also said they want lawmakers to know they aren't going to stop fighting for the lives of the unborn. State House Democrats have introduced more energy legislation to work with the renewable zoning legislation passed in the House last week. The Putting People First energy package contains 4 bills that were just passed in the House Energy, Communications, and Technology Committee. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more on those bills and why legislators say these bills would create more accountability for utility companies.
This morning, House Democrats held a press conference to address the first half of a bill package introduced in the House last week.
The Putting People First energy package makes the point that accountability in the delivery of services is required for checks and balances in the utility industry.
Representative Helena Scott says the bill package was created to build upon and complement the energy legislation already making its way through the Senate. Rep. Scott explained that the package aims to reduce costs by creating requirements for utility providers through proceedings conducted by the Public Service Commission that would assess utilities and establish incentives and penalties surrounding distribution, reliability, and performance.
Michigan's clean energy future must be affordable. I'm going to stress that. It must be affordable.
Over the summer, representatives formed the ERRA, or the Energy Reliability, Resilience, and Accountability Task Force. UP Representative Jen Hill was a member of the task force, which stopped in Marquette to hear from Yoopers about the issues they face with energy.
Our package, once signed into law, will truly put Michigan on a path to affordable, clean, and reliable energy.
The bill introduced by Representative Hill would create mandated reports from propane suppliers to keep the Michigan Public Service Agency aware of shortages or supply chain issues.
That information then has to come back to the state in the current way of doing things, and it can take a month or more for that data to come back.
The bills are now waiting for a vote in the House before heading to the Senate. The bill's authors say there are more components to the legislation they hope to introduce before moving forward. But with the end of the year approaching rapidly, it's likely the bills won't be addressed until the House reconvenes in January. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break, plus celebrating a special group of college students, how NMU students marked First Generation Day on campus today, and how Bay College is making it easier for veterans to navigate the ins and outs of getting a degree or certificate. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order with 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.
John Donna has big reboot. And it's still John Donna, which means clean cars and great service. Come see for yourself. John Donna Marquette.
Are you just gonna keep adding babies until I stop asking you questions? Steven!
The Late Show.
That is
crazy. Weeknights on CBS. Everyone loves the Great Lakes. They make you feel like dancing. A great place to celebrate is at Marquette's Maritime Museum, but your help is needed. The museum's roof needs to be replaced to preserve history for future generations. So kick up your heels and help by donating today. Simply go to WZMQ19.com and hit the Raise the Roof link. A public service message from the New Attitudes Dance Studios, the Marquette Maritime Museum, and WZMQ 19.
Your one place for everything Caribbean is on One Caribbean Television. Visit our website to subscribe and download our app. Watch One Caribbean Television anytime, anywhere, live or on demand on your TV, phone, tablet, or computer.
WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasic.
Well, we did see some precipitation across the UP today. As you can see, the past couple of hours, most of that has been focused on the east half with snow up north, a little bit of rain down below, and then a good mix in between. Current conditions, that's still going on. It's moving eastward, and then we've got another batch of rainfall expected to move in a little bit later this evening. I'll show you in just a moment. Our temperatures right now still in that 35 to 40 degree range. I wouldn't recommend going outside and enjoying that or celebrating it, or go for it. Blustery conditions tomorrow. I'll show you what those gusts are going to get up to. And then we've got this, continuation of rain, snow, a mixture of both. And like I mentioned, we've got blustery conditions tomorrow. Make sure you've got things secured. If you haven't done that today, make sure you do that as soon as you can, because we're going to see those gusts creep on up to that 25 to 45 miles per hour range, anywhere between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And it's not just going to be on that northwest coast. Keep your eye on St. Ignace as we go through those gusts in just a moment here. Those were the current wind speeds, fairly calm at the moment. Ironwood seeing a little bit of those breezes there, 24-mile-an-hour gusts. And then tomorrow, 8 a.m., we'll see about 30, anywhere to 45 almost in Ontonagon. And like I mentioned, St. Ignace around 31 miles an hour. So if you're headed downstate, going across the Big Mac, be prepared for some slower traffic conditions and make sure you keep your eye on any possibilities of closing the bridge during any moment. Currently, though, it is open. So I mentioned some rain showers and that wintry mix moving in this evening into our morning. Most of our activity that we're going to see on our Thursday is going to be along the north, but we will have some rain showers creeping on down here as we make our way into our Friday, where we'll see, a little bit of snow there on the Wisconsin border, and then more of that mix over here in the east portion, and then the middle getting all of the conditions. But we'll expect mostly cloudy skies. That sun creeping back out on our weekend. I'm looking forward to that, and those temperatures slowly warming back up on Sunday. And then take a look at next week. We could be seeing 51, 53 degrees. These are going to be those days to take care of your raking and clearing out that deck or patio furniture. I've got your 7-day outlook for Escanaba coming up in about 15.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about the patio furniture that I have yet to put away. Thank you very much, Ariane. Well, of course, we know November is infamous for storms on the Great Lakes. Carl Bonack says one of the deadliest storms occurred over 100 years ago and is known as the White Hurricane.
Low pressure born over the North Pacific drifted to a position near the Twin Cities on November 7, 1913. The low then drifted slowly south and then east of Upper Michigan the next day, bringing much of the UP its first significant snowfall of the season. The lighthouse keeper in Escanaba wrote, "Wind north-northwest. During the morning, it increased to a severe snowstorm which raged all day. It snowed in Menominee, accompanied by winds up to 70 miles per hour. On Lake Superior, huge waves caused the ore carrier L.C. Waldo to slam into Gull Rock off the Keweenaw Peninsula. The wet, frozen crew somehow survived until their rescue 2.5 days later. The storm was expected to blow itself out within a day or so, but this was a rogue storm system that redeveloped over the mid-Atlantic states on Sunday, November 9th, 1913. It was the day the freighter Henry B. Smith picked up a load of iron ore at the dock in Marquette. Its captain, Jimmy Owen, decided to leave the safety of the harbor late in the day during a lull in the storm. It was a disastrous decision. Just after the boat left Marquette, the northwesterly gale re-intensified as the mid-Atlantic low strengthened and moved north-northwestward back to the Great Lakes. A few days later, wreckage from the ship was found strewn along the beach east of Marquette. The ship went down with all hands. During a 6-hour period on the evening of November 9th, 1913, the Smith, along with 8 other boats on Lake Huron, were lost along with over 200 sailors. Inland, the city of Cleveland was buried under 22 inches of wet, heavy snow, blown into huge drifts by storm force winds. Wreckage was strewn along the shoreline in other cities from Lake Michigan and Superior to Lake Erie. It is by far the deadliest gale to ever hit the Great Lakes.
Carl says, of course, now with the advancement of different technologies, the National Weather Service is better able to warn people of those kinds of storms on the lakes. November 8th is National First Generation Student Day, celebrating students who are the first in their family to pursue higher education. At Northern Michigan University today, the First Wildcats Club, an on-campus organization representing first-gen students, lined up for an annual group photo. The club president says things like financial aid, meal plans, even just moving into college is exciting and stressful. She says having other students in the same situation can be a relief.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. I really want to make sure that everyone can be successful in life, have the equal opportunity to be successful, even if maybe you didn't have the guidance of your parents.
If you are a first-generation student and looking for a way to get involved on campus, we have a link to their Facebook page on our website. A Northern Michigan University student is educating her peers and the community about a condition that affects nearly 10% of people in Michigan. November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. Student Liz Preston was diagnosed when she was just 14. Now she's partnering with the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan to host basic first aid for seizures on campus on Monday, November 13th. She says training can help those in an emergency situation feel more confident to handle it the right way.
Put anything in their mouth. There's a myth that people always think you got to put a spoon because they may swallow their tongue. That's not possible, and you don't want to do that. Don't put anything in their mouth, and just stay with them. And also time the seizure, because if the seizure lasts more than 5 minutes, that's when you need to call the ambulance.
That in-person training begins in the Peninsula 2 room at the Northern Center from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. this coming Monday. We have a link to register at WZMQ19.com. One UP community college is making education easier to navigate for veterans and service members. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has the details.
At the beginning of the academic year, Bay College received gold-level veteran-friendly status from the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency.
They look at every single college in the state of Michigan, and they look at what they're doing for their student veterans. This is the first year that we got gold status. We have been silver status for quite a time, so we're kind of excited about it.
That status was earned through offerings like priority registration for all vets, a veterans lounge on both campuses, and academic credit for time in the armed forces.
You did things in the military that others don't know about. Let's get you some transfer credits for that so that you can get your degree done quicker.
Bay also offers flexibility for students deployed while enrolled in classes.
You don't have to just pick up and leave from your classes and start all over again. We can work with you on that. We can try to do it online or try to make it so that your life doesn't have to stop if you have to leave.
Currently, the Financial Aid Office is the point of contact for 25 student veterans, working with the VA to help them and their loved ones succeed.
Our office does all of this certifying if they are receiving veterans education benefits. We work with their families, their spouses, children, if they're receiving those benefits as well, to certify their credits. So overall, we work with about 50 students that are working through different types of veterans benefits.
Administrators invite any veterans, current service members, and their families to see how Bay College can help make higher education work for them.
Sometimes they have different things that they are dealing with in life that you might not be aware of. They have specific resources that other students don't have, and it's important for them to know that.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
Veterans Day, of course, is this Saturday, but one Delta County senior living facility works throughout the year to make rent more affordable for veterans. Lake House Escanaba, known until recently as Northwoods Place, offers all active duty service members and veterans 50% off their first month's rent. Through a partnership with Patriot Angels, the facility also provides a $1,000 discount for their second month, along with aid and attendance benefits.
Really put their lives on the line for our country. So I think it's very important to honor that and give them the benefits they really deserve. I'm hoping that we can bring some new brand awareness to the community, but also to the things that we offer for veterans and the community as a whole.
On Saturday at 9 a.m., Lake House is hosting a free Veterans Pancake Breakfast with an American Legion presentation. It is open to the public and RSVPs are requested. Fall recruitment is underway for Scout troops across the UP. The Gladstone Cub Scouts have been at events like last weekend's UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo, educating young people and families about scouting programs. Scoutmasters say fall is the perfect time to join, with preparations beginning for events like the Pinewood Derby and Ice Fishing Derby. Most importantly, they say joining a troop helps kids get involved in their community.
We're always looking for a way to give back, from going to rake the yards of a disabled veteran to just helping people cross the street when they need it. The UP is growing every day, and we're looking forward to getting many more kids involved, both boys and girls.
We have more details at WZMQ19.com. A Marquette organization is welcoming its new director. Scott Sampier is the new director of the Superior Health Foundation Board. He's a financial planner for Northwestern Mutual in Marquette. The foundation supports numerous grant-giving cycles that provide funding to countless organizations across the UP. Sampier says his passion for helping local organizations see their financial goals through will fit perfectly in the nonprofit space.
That we do, it has a direct impact on people locally, and that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm here to help. I'm a certified financial planner with Northwestern Mutual for over 16 years, so I'm bringing the financial kind of piece of the picture to the organization there.
Sam Peer is also the vice president of the Marquette Federation of Women Club and the committee chairman in the Marquette Lions Club. Still ahead tonight, signing up for health care. A financial analyst shares some advice during this open enrollment period.
The UP helps those in need. I'm Ariane Stasek. WZMQ 19 is teaming with Goodwill to keep that winter chill away. And you can be part of Operation Warm Up. Bring new or gently used hats, coats, mittens, gloves, and scarves to the Goodwill stores. These clothing items will be given to neighbors in need. Check WZMQ19.com for more information, and thank you for supporting Operation Warm Up.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show.
Yeah.
I have some questions for you.
Hey, don't tell everybody my business. Hold on.
Plus, we welcome John Stamos. Then a tap dancer tears it up.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Who will be there when there are voices that need to be heard? Who will be there when amazing rises up? Or a need for a warning comes falling down? Who will be our ears and our eyes? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. There's a whole world of opportunities waiting for you, whether it's on air as an anchor or reporter, or behind the scenes as a producer, engineer, sales rep, or more. Our close-knit team brings the truth to light, elevates voices, responds in times of need, encourages diversity, and builds community. Come be there as history unfolds to deliver the news, the information, and the entertainment that Michigan needs. Bring your talents and creativity to the broadcasting industry. Be there. Go to BeThereMichigan.com to get started.
Americans get health care coverage through their employer, and millions more are covered by the Affordable Care Act and Medicare. This is the time of year to take a look at those coverage plans and see if any changes are needed. Jill Schlesinger has some advice for open enrollment.
When you received your enrollment package for health care coverage, were you tempted to throw in the towel and default to whatever you elected for 2023? That would be a shame, because there could be more affordable options available. Start by creating a list of your doctors and prescriptions and determine whether they are still covered under your current plan. If your company offers it, investigate a high deductible health plan, which in exchange for that higher deductible offers lower premiums. To save for the larger deductible, the plan is paired with a triple tax advantage health savings account, meaning that the money goes into the account pre-tax, the earnings grow without taxes, and when you pull the money out, there's no tax due. If you leave your job, you can take your HSA with you and even use it decades in the future. It's also open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act, which runs through January 16th. Costs vary depending on the plan you choose and the state where you live, but you may be able to qualify for help from the government in the form of tax credits and/or the ability to minimize out-of-pocket expenses. Go to healthcare.gov for more information. Finally, if you're over 65, Medicare open enrollment is underway. It concludes December 7th. Because insurance companies often change what they cover from year to year, go to medicare.gov to compare plans and select what's right for you.
We'll be right back after this.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
All-wheel drive season is coming. Changes, weather, road conditions. What doesn't change? Toyota's commitment to giving you the freedom to explore. With more all-wheel drive choices like the best-selling Camry, Toyota now offers $1,000 APR cash on new gas model 2024 Camrys, including all-wheel drive. or low APR financing up to 72 months on remaining 23 Camrys, plus 2 years no-cost maintenance. Change is coming. Save now on Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. Call right now for your free book, and as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financially strong insurers. Again, that's Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free, for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-495-8670. That's 800-495-8670.
Are you just gonna keep adding babies until I stop asking you questions? Steven!
The Late Show.
That is crazy.
Weeknights on CBS.
Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Temperatures in that 35 to 40 degree range. We'll expect these to drop down to about 25 and 35 degrees. And as we've mentioned, we've got the letter W standing for wicked west winds tomorrow. Those temperatures anywhere from about 35 to 45. That seems to be the standard for the next couple of days. And then taking a look at our Saturday, Veterans Day, across the board here, Houghton, Kingsford, and Munising. Munising, my friends, you've got a 40% chance of snow showers, but those temperatures should be doable and chances of some sunshine. Our 7-day outlook for Escanaba, temperatures in that low 40-degree range, chances of precipitation, of course, continuing, but we'll expect drier conditions this weekend. And then looking ahead to next week, y'all are going to be in that 50-degree range and some sunshine, mostly sunny skies on the way. Take a look at that. I'm excited for them.
Finally tonight, America's favorite pandas are headed back to China, marking the end of an era of so-called panda diplomacy. Some of the beloved bears have been on display at Smithsonian's National Zoo in D.C. for 50 years. The 3 giant pandas, Mei Xiang, Tian Tian, and their son, Xiaoji Qi, are now aboard the FedEx Panda Express for their that's real for their 19-hour trans-Pacific flight from D.C. to Chengdu, China. The beloved pandas have been a sensation at the National Zoo for 5 decades.
You know, I mean, this is something that we have prepared for all of their lives, all of our lives, but these animals are very special to us. Today, it's been a sad day, it's been a sad week.
The bears are returning because the Smithsonian Institution's current agreement with the Chinese government has expired. Our D.C. reporter Rachel texted me earlier today and she said, I don't think I can work. I'm too distraught. The pandas are leaving.
Bye, pandas. I've got a little panda here. And oh my gosh, do you know how many hours a day they eat?
More than me. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Have you heard? Affordable healthcare is better than ever. And right now there are more carriers and plans to choose from. If you're between 18 and 64 years old with a household income of $25,000 or less, this message is for you. Right now, the government's Affordable Care Act is available for individual and family health coverage plans with little to no cost to you. Don't gamble your health. Call